Storm Boy the Game. It's a special week because you guys are not just going to get one review, but two of them. As I dive into the eShop Dumpster and find two games that are under 99 cents to see if they're worth the small price I'm paying for them. Now, just because they're part of the eShop Dumpster series, that doesn't make them bad right off. Both this game and my next review of Super Blackjack 2 Turbo Edition, The Card Warriors, both normally sell for a much higher price. And I will say in advance, those prices are ridiculous for the content they give you. But this one at least makes a case for it with the beautiful art style. Unfortunately, everything else seems to be a misstep. Now, they call this a game in the title, and that's in the loosest sense. There is some interactivity, and some things might seem like a game, but it feels more like interactive activities than a game. This is a storybook. It's based on a 1964 children's book of the same name. All you do is walk to the right, and the lines of the story will appear. Right away, it feels like a mistake not to have this voiced. It would go way up in my rating if it did. The words on the screen were way too complex for a younger child to know, and it's going to have an adult read it to them. So why not have the game just read it to you? There are 9 interactive activities to do, which were very simple in nature. Usually no more than one button press or move in a different direction. When it tries to be more complex is when the issues arrive. The couple times where you need to throw something, it gives you no reticle to show you where you're throwing, nor does it explain how you throw it. I would just randomly move in directions and press a button, and maybe it might actually do it. Not that it really matters, as you can't lose. And the game will keep going on until you decide to move on. I can still see kids getting frustrated by the controls in these couple of activities. Worse yet, there's actually a point in the story where it actually hinged on completing one of these activities. It was a shock! Something that actually changed the story? Well, sort of. The game would give you unlimited tries and would even let you skip it if you got too frustrated. I have to assume the playtesters had the same issue with the controls and wanted to give the player an out without actually having to fix the controls. This is a very short game. I messed around a lot, and I accidentally got kicked back to the menu a couple times, as all you have to do is press the B button, and it would send you back to the title screen. And you might have to actually restart the part you were in. How is there not an "are you sure you want to quit" option? How am I the one to tell them basic game design? Even after all that's happening, I still spent less than 30 minutes in this title. Now, I do want to say the story itself, while strange, as it has to do with a child befriending a pelican who starts acting like a dog and will play fetch and obey commands, was actually very interesting and a bit heartwarming. Storm Boy the Game is not a game. It's an interactive story. The art style is beautiful to look at, and it's easily the best part of this. This short but powerful story of friendship between these two was interesting to read and experience while playing this. It does feel like if they had just done a couple things differently, they could have had a much better product. Have the story read to us and fix the controls. Those two things would take this thing up to an absolute recommend at 89 cents. At $5.99, no, don't get it then. Without those changes, 89 cents, I'm kind of on the fence, but I say, yeah, that's a fair price for this. Sure, there isn't much here, but it could be entertaining for a very young child, with its very simple activities for them to do. I will warn you though, it does have a sad ending, so it might be a little too depressing for a younger child unless you want to warn them ahead of time. I would definitely not pay full price for this thing, but for the low price at 89 cents, I say go for it if this title interests you.